All right, so we're good to go. Kia ora, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you that have joined us here today. Thank you all for taking out some time for this webinar from your busy schedule, and I'm sure we'll make it worthwhile for you. So today's webinar is about SwiftBook Simplified, and we'll run through some I will run through the portion where we'll show you how to optimize your guest booking experience. Before we move on, I'd just like to introduce myself. I am Arnold Aaron. I'm a customer success lead for the Oceania region at STAAH. I've been around for just about a little bit about over 5 years now, and I am from the hospitality industry. So my background is working at hotels and various roles, front office roles, and I've studied hospitality too. So keeping in mind that I've worked out here for over 5 years, I tend to call myself a little bit of a techie, if you must say. Moving on, just before we begin today's session, I would just like to run through some housekeeping rules. So upon joining, all participants have been muted. We do have a Q&A tab that you will see on the bottom of your screen. So please feel free to put in your questions throughout the session. We do have a team that will reply back to you as we continue through the session. When we will get some time to answer your questions towards the end of the session too, so we'll have a Q&A round. What I would recommend is to close all tabs on your browser just for the best user experience. And also, you'd probably see during our webinar a couple of poll questions that you'll pop up on your screen. So I would highly recommend that you put in your, select one of the options that's available on the poll, and you'll also see the results of that poll at the end of the webinar, and then we'll probably run through it during our Q&A session. So moving on, what are we going to discuss about today's webinar? So the agenda is to introduce SwiftBook. We will speak about the key features and benefits of the Swift booking engine. We will also discuss some tips of implementing the right booking flow that will help in maximizing conversion. Strategies for maximizing direct bookings through your website. What are the reporting tools on SwiftBook? So we'll discuss that as one of our points for today. We'll discuss the add-on services that can be signed up for along with SwiftBook, and then we'll just go through some success stories at the end of the session. So let's start off with the first question, introduction to SwiftBook. And I think the most common question that we get asked is, what is SwiftBook? I mean, what does it really do, and what is it? How does it help me? So ideally, SwiftBook is a cutting-edge booking engine that is designed for the hospitality industry, providing a seamless and efficient platform for managing online reservations. So essentially, it is a booking engine that you put on your website to actually receive reservations. So it's one of STAAH's latest, and not innovations, but one of STAAH's latest products in the line in terms of a booking engine. The next is, who is the ideal customer? Who is SwiftBook built for? So the answer is, if you're a hotel, if you're a resort, if you're a vacation rental, or pretty much if you are a hospitality business aiming to enhance your booking process or improve your guest experience, SwiftBook is the product for you. So pretty much, if you have a website, you have a Book Now button on there where a customer can make a reservation. SwiftBook is the product for you because then STAAH or the SwiftBook allows the customer to make live reservations for your property, which then drop into your property management systems as a result. Now, moving on, what all the SwiftBook offer. So the first thing is reservation management. SwiftBook basically streamlines the booking process from checking availability to the confirmation page. And it also ensures that the guest is getting the best experience, the smoothest experience throughout the booking process. And in turn, because of that smooth experience, because of less abandonment, of customers, or customers leaving the book, customers not wanting to leave the booking process, or because they can find details, all the details that they require on the booking engine, on the SwiftBook itself. It also helps in reducing your staff's load, because they will probably receive lesser emails or lesser phone calls to make reservations. At the end of the day, you've got the SwiftBook on your website for people to make reservations. To that point, it has a very user-friendly interface. So basically, it has an intuitive design, and it is also visually appealing. It basically has a very visually appealing interface that is easy to navigate for guests and reduces the chance of booking abandonment or churn of your customers. So back to my point number one, which is reservation management. It just helps in smoothing down the whole process. It helps in making the process as easy as possible for your customer, so that there's no question of them actually leaving the booking process at the end of the day. The next one is seamless integration and real-time updates. So I guess this is quite an important point from a perspective for hotel. So the SwiftBook, being a STAAH product, integrates really well and effortlessly with the STAAH Channel Manager. And obviously the STAAH Channel Manager then connects directly into your property or the property management system of your choice, which tends to create a unified hotel management system for any property or size, shape, or type. It also ensures that the availability and rates are updated in real time. All the time. It's basically receiving updates from either the PMS or the STAAH Channel Manager constantly, and making sure that it reduces the amount of or it reduces and the amount of overbookings that potentially you may receive. So what this means is that because you have a unified system, because you have an all connected system, the Swift booking engine is pretty much going to be seamless for your customer, while also being easy to monitor and easy to maintain for you as a property. What are the key features and benefits of the Swift booking engine? I think the main important one is the customizability of the booking engine. So yes, SwiftBook does offer some level of customization, whether it's related to some fonts, whether it's related to colors. SwiftBook can do that. And what this does is it basically allows you to customize your booking engine to match the brand, to match your website, so that it looks like one flow when the customer goes from the website onto your booking, onto the booking page. So it creates a unique booking experience. It looks like it's all seamless, all in one place. It doesn't look like, the website has been built by someone really amazing, and then the booking engine is not really operating, which then causes issues in the long run. So customizability is key, and SwiftBook does tend to offer that pretty well. I think mobile optimization, another key feature. I think as probably everyone knows, mobile optimization is being spoken about quite often actually right now. In fact, when I was just doing a bit of research before this webinar, I happened to come across an article that actually said that mobile bookings have gone up to more than 50% of total hotel reservations, which tends to give you the idea that you need to have a website, you need to have a booking engine, which is completely mobile optimized to ensure, again, that the customer is having a seamless booking process. So the SwiftBook is the answer for that. SwiftBook is mobile optimized. So irrespective whether you're seeing it on a mobile device, you're seeing it on one of your tablets, an iPad, on different size of screens, the Swift booking engine will automatically resize, and it will display all the details of your rooms or your property in the right form and format. So mobile optimization is, I think, a really key feature. Whether it is related to the booking engine or even to your website, it is really important because, I mean, personally speaking, when I'm traveling or when I'm looking for accommodation, I tend to be on my phone. I don't remove my tablet or my laptop out because I'm just probably watching TV. I am probably scrolling through the different properties that I can potentially book, and the one that is mobile optimized gives me the best impression of that property, and I tend to book that property at the end of the day. So yeah, customizable booking engine and mobile optimization are two key features of the Swift booking engine. Some other key features now, if you're already using STAAH, you probably already know about these features, this feature specifically, which is what we call smart pricing. In other words, it's basically a way to create promotions for your own website. Now, there are 6 different ways that you can create your smart pricings for your website. And essentially what smart pricing does is it helps you in reducing the number of package offerings that you have on your website by automatically doing the job of a package. So what I mean out here is, let's say instead of having a multi-night package displayed on your website, what you can do is you can actually have a multi-night smart pricing set on your website. Now, the beauty of this is that you can set a 2-night, 5-night, 10-night deal within one smart pricing, one multi-night smart pricing, and you can apply it onto your existing packages, maybe your best available rate, your non-refundable rate, or whatever other deal you have or package you have running on the booking engine or on SwiftBook. Now, the way it shows is basically, it actually shows a banner like you can see out here. It actually shows that the customer is getting some sort of a discount, which you can see in this case, they're getting about 10% off. What it also does is it adds a little label out here, which once clicked on or once you put your mouse over it, it actually shows you what sort of a discount that customer is getting. It also slashes off the original price, so the full price that the room was selling at, and it then discounts it and shows you the price, just like you can see out here. And further, when you put your mouse over the price, what it is further going to show you is that the original price was $340 or whatever the price is for that specific day. It will then show you the discount amount that the customer is getting, and then finally the room booking value is 306 or whatever the final amount is. So in the same way, you can create mobile user discounts. So again, going back to mobile optimization, if you're seeing a lot of customers that are using mobile devices to book, you can encourage them further to book through your website by using the mobile user deal. We also have a regional discount option. So the regional one is basically where you can set discounts based on different countries that you may want to target. So what that means is if you're located in New Zealand, you want to give all customers that are booking from Australia and from Fiji and from Malaysia, then you can set up a smart pricing specifically around that area. Last minute, it probably explains itself. If you're probably having too many remainder rooms at the end of the day, you can apply a last minute smart pricing on your existing packages, which then discounts your pricing. And finally, you've got the pay now option. This specifically only applies when you are using a payment gateway. So if you plan on connecting a payment gateway or if you already have a payment gateway connected to your existing booking engine, which is SwiftBook, then you can use the Pay Now feature. And what happens is the customer, when they do select Pay Now as an option or pay on the spot as an option when they're reserving a room, they will then further see a discount. The beauty, another benefit of having smart pricing is that we do not stack the discounts on top of each other. What this does is it basically will pick up, if you had multiple smart pricings applied at the same time, it will pick up the highest discount applicable in your property's case, and it will then show that discount out to the customer, making sure that they are aware that they are getting a good deal out of that, when they book directly through your website. So if you're already using SwiftBook, try out smart pricing. If you're not using SwiftBook, you do know that there is a feature called smart pricing. This is very similar to the feature that Booking.com or Expedia offer as a promotions tab on their website, but this is specifically built around your own booking engine, which is SwiftBook in this case. Moving on, some other key features and benefits of the Swift booking engine. The first one is advanced analytics and reporting. Now, I think this is another key feature that gets overlooked quite often. Having comprehensive reports and using those reports to drive your strategies. So STAAH has a number of reports that you can pull out from the system. We'll discuss a little bit further on that a little later on in our webinar. So we do have a comprehensive reporting that we offer, which probably shows you the booking patterns, revenue, and other key performance indicators in that. Now, once you get those reports, basically that allows you to make your decisions on your strategies that you need to probably add or probably use on your website. So that's how it helps you in making making important decisions on how to run your booking engine. The next one is multi-language support and currency conversion. Again, quite an important feature because we are now, I mean, you get bookings from all spaces, from different countries. So it's no longer that you will only get a booking from the country that you live in or your property is located, but you may get overseas bookings. Now, those people probably their first language is different to your first language. So what STAAH does is it offers a multi-language option. So the SwiftBook can actually display your search results in another language altogether in case if required. Further, it also offers currency conversion. So basically what that means is that when you're on the Swift booking engine, you can actually see the room rates in another currency altogether or your local currency. So let's say I was based in Australia and I was booking a property in New Zealand. You can actually select Australian dollar. What STAAH will do is it'll convert that same New Zealand dollar price into Australian dollars and display your room pricing. So what this basically helps in the booking process because now the booker doesn't have to go and then convert their NZD to AUD and then which takes longer. So this helps in reducing the time the customer would take to probably make a reservation at your property, and it's definitely quite an important step. And personally, I myself, and when I booked my trip overseas, I wanted to see what the currency was going to be in my local in New Zealand dollars, because I am located in New Zealand, but I was booking a property in Japan or Australia. So some booking engines did not offer that. So I had to now open up a separate app or open up Google to actually transfer that amount or to check the difference between the amounts. So SwiftBook does that automatically for your customer. Security and reliability. So STAAH goes through, so STAAH is PCI certified, PCI DSS certified. Basically, STAAH goes through a certification process that meets industry standards, industry payment standards on a yearly basis. So what that means is you have peace of mind that your customer's data is always stored in a secure format. So there's lesser chances of being hacked or you losing data or anything of that sort. So we have robust security measures in place, and credit card numbers can be visible, can be seen within STAAH if you're not using a payment gateway. So we store it in a very secured format. And high uptime. So yes, SwiftBook is built on a very reliable infrastructure, which we then guarantee that we will definitely give you high uptimes, meaning that there will never be a time that the booking engine will not be accessible to your bookers. So there's always peace of mind again that your customers will always have somewhere to make a reservation, irrespective of whether you have your reservations team at the hotel or not. So high uptime is another key factor in this process. And I think everything comes down to customer support. So yes, we do have a dedicated support team who are available. So depending on where you're located, we are available on emails, chat, phone, and even WhatsApp actually in some countries to assist in any questions and also to ensure that your operations are running smoothly so that you have peace of mind. Further, we do offer training and resources. So if you're not using SwiftBook and you want to start using it, we do provide full training in terms of how to use SwiftBook, how it is going to look like in terms of for your guest users, so that you are well trained, you adapt to the change as quickly as possible. So yep, so we do offer some good level of support in terms of SwiftBook. So moving on, sorry. So just before we move on, we do have a poll that will actually show up on your screen just about now. So please feel free to put in cast your votes in there, and in some time you'll actually see the results come up on your page. So moving on, so we'll just speak about the tips for implementing the right booking flow to maximize conversion through your website, through SwiftBook. So again, this is a very important factor. I have a couple of examples to show you in the next couple of slides on probably what's going to be the best flow in terms of the Swift booking engine. So it is very important that when you're building a website, when you're adding in your Swift booking engine, or you're adding in a booking engine on there, that the customer doesn't have to go searching for the book button, or they don't have to go searching for a calendar widget where they have to actually now search 3-4 different pages and then then they finally find, okay, yep, this is where the booking button is, which probably waste about 3-4 minutes of theirs, which can be quite vital. So, just like, I mean, this video sort of explains it. You need to make sure that every time the customer comes on your website, they hit the spot and they land just where you want them to land. So what STAAH has done is we do have years of experience in the booking engine space. So what we have done is we have pretty much changed not changed, but we have adapted a 3-step booking process. So as soon as someone hits the booking engine with SwiftBook, they basically select a room, they'll enter their details. Third step, enter their payment details, and bang on, your reservation is now complete. There's no fluffing around in any of this. So STAAH has adapted that 3-step booking process, and it will ensure that your guest goes from start to end without any issues. So some tips for implementing the booking engine, and what is probably the best flow and what isn't the most ideal. So again, while I was doing my research on, what flow is the best, I happened to find this one example of a property that has got a booking engine on their website. But honestly, it isn't the best way to get onto the booking engine. So what that means is that if we just wait for slide number one, what this customer has is a widget, just like you will see out here. So they have a widget out here on that page. Then you click once more. You then go and click on single room, which you saw in slide number two, which we'll just wait for it to come back. So that's the widget out here. You enter your date, then you click on the single room, you enter reserve a room. Then once again, you have got to enter your details, and that's only when you go onto the booking engine. And this is not the ideal process. You want your customer to go enter your details on the website, maybe the arrival and departure date, and then bang on, once they hit book, then you go on to the booking engine straight away. You don't want them to keep searching or hitting 5 buttons or 3 buttons or even 2 buttons before they actually reach where they need to. So when you're building your website, it's probably you can probably check with the STAAH team, but it's also important to have a conversation with your website team to understand what they think of the booking flow, and probably give them your feedback that you need it to be as seamless as possible, wherever possible in that case. I'll show you the example of a booking flow that is probably the right one. So in this case, you probably can see just about in slide one that you've got the calendar on the bottom. There was also a book now button on the top out here. So the customer pretty much has two options. It's loud and clear to them as soon as they come onto the booking engine that, hey, here's your calendar, please enter your details, and then we'll take you onto the booking engine. And like you can see, as soon as you hit your calendar, you enter the details, you move on to the booking engine, like you can see in step number two, which is the Swift booking engine in this case. So you can see in the previous slide, I hit 3 times. I hit 3 different buttons on the website, but it still didn't take me anywhere. One of the reasons was because the property built their own custom widget, which probably doesn't function very well, which doesn't send STAAH the right data. So that was an issue. But this one is the perfect example. So if you are inculcating SwiftBook onto your website, if you are building a brand new website, think about the booking flow. I think it's quite important. So what we'll do is, before we move on to the next slide, I'll just probably run through the first poll question that we had. So I'll just, if you haven't already, I'd probably recommend to put in your feedback just about now. I think we have done that. Okay, so the results are in. So the question was, how often do you update your rates and availability? And we have about 32% of you that answered multiple times a day, 23% of you that went once a day, which is amazing. I think what that tells us is that you're pretty on to it, and that you're looking at the market, you're making sure that your rates are actually set right, to optimize the flow of reservations. And then we have about 14% that said it's weekly, 18% that is monthly, and then 14% that is rarely. So there's no right or wrong in this case. But definitely, if you do it rarely, if you do it monthly, if you do it weekly, probably look at maybe doing it once a day at least. And if you do multiple times a day, amazing. All right, perfect. So moving on. We will have another poll coming down, probably a little later down in our slides. So please do take a look at that one too. So again, continuing with our tips for implementing the right booking flow to maximize conversion. Now, there are 4 types of widgets that STAAH can provide you with. The first one being a calendar widget. Now, what this one does is it's a plain simple widget. A lot of you are probably already using it. It's pretty much a widget that provides you, it tells the guest to enter their arrival date, their departure date, It's like you can see arrival and departure date. This opens up a calendar that shows live availability at your property. So what it is really doing is it's picking up, if it's basically telling the customer the cheapest available or the lowest available room type available at your property. It then shows you whether the room type is available or not. So like in this case, you can probably see the little reds that you see out here for these dates. It's saying sold. So there is absolutely no availability at your property. And then also if there's any minimum length of stays applied at any point of time for all of your room types, it will also tell the customer that while they're on your website. So they haven't even reached your booking engine and they already know that there is a 2-night minimum stay or multi-night minimum stays, what the cheapest price is for your room, and also whether the rooms are actually available or not. So they don't have to do multiple searches once they reach the booking engine. They can actually see all of it on your website and then take a call on what dates they should be booking at your property. What it also allows them to do is it allows them to book multiple rooms if required. So they can go 2 rooms and then different set of adults and children. And further, it also allows to enter a promo code. So if you have a promo code running at your property, then it'll also allow them to enter a promo code in this tab. The next one is pretty simple, the Book Now button. We can provide you with a widget that looks similar to like what you see out here. Now you can embed this somewhere on your website. It can be on multiple pages. It can be on your home page, completely up to you. And then once it's on there, once the customer clicks Book Now, it directly directs them onto the, sends them onto the booking engine page. Two new tabs or 2 new widgets that we've actually developed very recently is the 7-day widget. So what this one does, and ideally I would say this is probably useful to have per room type. What this one does is it will show if that specific room type is actually available. If it is available, it is going to show the lowest price available for that day. And if it is available, it will also show if there's any minimum length of stay applied to that property. So if you have an accommodation page on your website, if you have a room types page on your website, probably this widget is going to work pretty well. It shows 7-day availability for that room type, and hitting the calendar out here will then take them on to, they can actually select another month, another year, if that is required. And finally, you've got the 4th option, which is the first available rate, what we also call FAR. What this does is, again, you can have this for all your rooms, but ideally, I would say it probably works well for per room type. So you can have this similar to your 7-day widget, but what this one does is it's literally just similar to your Book Now button that you can add on to every room type of your choice. And it is going to show the lowest available price for the day for that room type. So if you had multiple packages running at the same time, it's going to show the cheapest price available for that day or the lowest price available for that day. If the day, let's say today is the 20th, or it is actually not it, let's say, but it is 20th, and today was not available in the studio room at the property, what it is automatically going to do is it's going to show the price for tomorrow. So it's smart enough. It's going to show tomorrow's price. And once you hit the button, it is going to direct the customer onto the booking engine, onto SwiftBook, where they actually see the availability for 21st until 22nd, and then they can do different searches if that is what they're after. So you can, if one of these widgets is what you're after, you just need to let our support team know, and we can certainly help you out with the widgets. So tips for implementing the right booking flow. So STAAH does connect to quite a few different payment gateways, and you can decide which payment gateway suits you the best, depending upon whether you're located in Australia or New Zealand or Malaysia or any other part of the world. We do have a comprehensive list on our integrations page on our website, so you can definitely take a look at the list of payment gateways that we connect to. And what this allows you to do as a property is it allows you to take payment on the spot when a customer is making a reservation. So there's no question of the customer saying, oh, I'll pay later. We can offer some flexibility in that, which I'll speak to you in the next slide. But yes, we do connect to multiple payment gateways, and it also helps in collecting payment in a very secured format. So if that's what you're after, payment gateway is the way to go. We move on to strategies for maximizing direct bookings through your website. So I've divided this into 3 steps. I think the first one is what you and I, or what you can pretty much do at any given point of time when you're using the Swift booking engine, is optimizing your booking engine. So here you're basically making sure that your booking engine has all the data that is required to be on there. So things like images and descriptions. Very often when we see booking engines, there's probably a couple of rooms without an image. There's probably room types with absolutely no description. Ideally, that's not the best way to do it. We would highly recommend that you have a booking engine that actually has images and descriptions on there. What we also recommend is probably limit the number of packages you have on your booking engine. So we probably say about 2, 3, 4 maximum packages. If you are having multiple night advanced purchase packages, convert them into smart pricing if that's going to be of better use to you. So definitely look at that. Offer flexible cancellation policies. I guess being too restricted on your cancellation policies of only having a non-refundable deal on your website is not going to probably do very well amongst your customers, because right now, or even during COVID, we saw a lot of people were looking for flexibility in their reservations. If I'm booking 6 months in advance, I may not want to book non-refundable. So probably have a couple of different options and maybe a couple of different price points. You're the best judge for it. You can certainly make your decision whether that works for you by looking at the various reporting that STAAH has to offer. So that brings me on to the second step, which is track the booking process. So again, like I mentioned earlier, like I will discuss in our next slide, tracking your customer journey is very important, without which you will not know where you're losing your customers, without which you will not know whether your pricing is actually correct, whether your booking engine is optimized correctly. And you can use star reporting for that, but you can also connect Google Analytics, which is GA4, the newer version of Google Analytics. You can connect that to star so that you understand the entire booking journey from the time the customer hit the booking engine, your website, until the time they reach the booking engine page. And finally, payment methods. So if you are using a payment gateway, you can offer some level of flexibility to your customers. You can go pay now or pay later. Or you can have packages just on pay now. Completely up to you. So before we move on, just letting you know, there is another poll coming up on your screen just about now. Again, please feel free to select one of the options out there, and then we'll discuss that in a little later. All right, I'll probably just... So moving on, reporting tools on SwiftBook. I guess another key feature for all the revenue managers out there, or all the managers out there, what sort of reporting does SwiftBook offer? So it is actually quite a comprehensive list. I have picked up only a few of them from there. So one of them being booking engine analytics. I think a very important tool to always have a look at. And this one basically is like an upside down funnel that shows you the total number of visitors that came onto your booking engine, how many actually did searches or entered their guest information, further, how many trickle down into entering the payment information, and finally, how many confirm the reservation. So Booking Engine Analytics is a good tool to probably look at maybe weekly, monthly, to see how your booking engine is performing. Package production reports. So this gives you a good idea of how your packages that you're running on your website are doing. So if you have, let's say, multiple packages, if certain ones are not doing pretty well, or they're not doing as expected, either you modify them or kill them, one of it. Promo code production reports. So if you are running promo codes, which we highly recommend you do, definitely use promo code production report, because that's the only time you're going to understand how your promo codes are doing and who is booking them and who is using them and how many times they're being used. We have newsletter subscription reports. So every customer that comes onto SwiftBook, they can tick the box which says subscribe to newsletter. You get a report of that, which you can then now go and upload into one of your CRMs or email marketing tools, which can then help you in building a database, and then you can send out emailer campaigns. So this is, again, just a very small list of reporting tools that we have within STAAH. We do have a number of other reports that will help you in, understanding how booking engine or, how your rates are doing online. Add-ons. So along with the SwiftBook, we do have some add-ons or plugin features that you can subscribe to. So one of them is Watch My Rate. So Watch My Rate, or what we also call WMR, is a tool that can be embedded either on your website, or you can have them only on the booking engine. And what this one does is it helps displaying your direct rate or the lowest available rate for the day. And then it will compare that pricing against up to 5 other OTAs that you have selected out here. So what this is doing is it's making sure it's telling the customer, the message is going out to the customer that, hey, you are getting the best deal booking through the direct website. So make sure you do it from here. Now, this is where you can probably also have your smart pricing placed in, which further gives them another better price. So you can have them play around. And I think one of the benefits of having WMR is that it is smart enough in case if your OTA pricing at some point does go below your direct rate pricing, that option will automatically just disappear from this list. So we definitely wouldn't show anything below $235 in this example that you're seeing out here. Okay, so that is smart pricing. The next one is Get Google. So the Get Google service is another add-on service. It's sort of like a meta channel that we call it. So what when you subscribe to it, it actually allows STAAH to display its direct rates on your Google My Business listing. So technically, it gives the customer, if someone has searched your property and let's say brand.com on Google, not brand.com, but just your brand's name, it'll bring the Google listing on the right-hand side. What the customer gets to now see is obviously your OTA rates, but now a new rate on there would be your direct rate. And again, if your pricing is pretty competitive, the customer, when they do click on it, they actually get redirected onto the Swift booking engine. So again, a better way of picking up more reservations. We also have travel agent and corporate travel module, which is also what we call tagged. So if you do have a lot of corporate customers, if you do have a lot of travel agents that actually book at your property, what you can do is subscribing to this module will actually allow you to create a special login for that user. So whether it's a corporate traveler or whether it's a travel agent, doesn't matter. When they log in there, you can actually give them access to their own set of rates and own set of packages, which is linked. So you can either create a new package, link it up to a promo code, and once they make the reservation, it drops into STAAH. They can also manage the reservation. So what that means is they can actually view their past reservations, current and future reservations, without them having to contact you. And they can also cancel them in case if that is what they're after. Now, from a property perspective, from your perspective, you can track these bookings either by packages, so from a package production report, or you could track them by promo code production report. So there's a couple of different options in this case. And finally, you've got ReviewMinder. If you have a pretty strong game going on with your reviews, or you're planning to make your reviews even stronger, it is probably important to have a tool that's going to help you do that. So what happens in this case is we actually connect to multiple OTAs, Google, TripAdvisor, and so on. We pull in those reservations and we make it easy for you. So you don't have to actually log in into booking.com to reply to a customer, log in into Google to reply to another, log in into Agoda or whatever other OTA it is to reply to that customer's review. You can do it right from STAAH itself. We also can provide you with a widget that you can put onto your website that can go onto SwiftBook. And what that allows the customer to see is, and it creates that sense of trust because they're now seeing live reviews, which basically tells them that, yep, This is a trustworthy property. People have stayed out here. Let's go ahead and book this specific property. So yes, we do have Watch My Rate, Get Google, Travel Agent, and Corporate Travel Module, which is also what we call TACT in short form, and Review Minder as an add-on service. Moving on. So that's pretty much all about the Swift booking engine. So what we do have here is, I mean, Swift booking engine is already in use across quite a few of our properties, and a couple of our properties have actually given us some feedback on it. And the first one is, both of them are actually based out of New Zealand. So the first one is talking about how easy it is to customize and it helps in creating a great booking flow for their customers, and the support is pretty goes pretty well for them. And the second one out here, which is Akara Waterfront Motels, they've spoken about that they love the iframe booking engine because you can choose. You can have the Swift booking engine as an iframe or a URL version, so you can decide that. And it is a seamless integration with their PMS and other systems. So that's just two out of multiple stories that we have to share out here. So before we move on, let's quickly run through our poll results. The results are out. So our question was, which feature of a booking engine is most important to you? So we've had about 54%, which is over 50%, actually select simple booking process, three-step booking process as the most important factor. And I think I can agree with that. I think that's one of the most important factor. The next one that comes in is advanced analytics and reporting. So that one comes at 21%. We do have secure payment options at 17% and booking engine customization at 8%. No one actually selected mobile optimization, but that's fine. So I think I would like to agree with the point that simple booking process is definitely a must. So what now? So if you don't have the Swift booking engine, reach out to our sales team on sales@staah.com, and they'll be able to help you get a demo and probably sign you up to it. If you have a mobile, you can just get your mobile phone out. You can scan this QR code, and you can then have fill out the form and get in touch with our sales team and organize a demo with them. So our main area, which is question and answers. So what I'll do is I'll just so if you have any questions, if you haven't answered any, please feel free to put them down in the Q&A session. So we have a couple of questions out here. I can yet set promo pricing based on city rather than country. So currently, the smart pricing, if that's what you're after, is based out of country. But once we do have city pricing available, we will certainly let you know. We do have a question out here. If you have a mobile rate at 10% and a country rate at 10%, please confirm the level of discount. So Tony, the answer to this is that the booker will get only 10% off. As I said, it's only going to give them one discount. It's not going to add 10 and 10 and make it 20. So we surely don't want to give 20% out at any given point of time. So can I change, I've got another question out here. Can I change the colors on the Swift book page as per my preferences? So certainly we do offer a level of customization in colors. So if you have your hex codes ready, we can put in those hex codes, and then we can certainly customize it to match your website. So we do have a question, so which I was going to mention now. Will there be a link to the recording? So yes, we will send you an email after this call, after this webinar, which will have a link to the recording for sure. So yes, Belinda, we will certainly have that for you. What are the add-on costs per add-on? So, sorry, I don't know who this is from, but what you could do is you could fill out the sales, you could fill out that sales form that we saw previously. You could just email our sales team, or if you're already in touch with one of our sales team, you can just reach out to them, and they can provide you a costing that is most effective for you. Do you have a tutorial or a session on how to set up the new booking engine? I think this question is from Chinara. Hopefully, I am pronouncing it right. So yes, Chinara, what we can do is we can provide you with a full demo and training of this booking engine, and that will be conducted by our support team. So we'll make sure that you understand the booking engine and its flow before you take it live. So Tony, there's a question from you. Is WMR as an add-on cheaper than Google Hotels, and what is the commission charge on WMR if that in fact applies? So Tony, there is no commission that we charge on WMR. It's pretty much a monthly fee. Again, that can be discussed with the sales team. But what it is basically doing is it's telling your customer that this is the cheapest price available for the room type for today. And when booked, it will basically it is assuring the customer that they are getting the best deal. So there's no commission on any of our products, pretty much, whether it's Get Google or whether it is WMR. There's no commission on any of it. So I have a question from Kevin. Will there be a requirement for the billing address entry in the booking engine? So Kevin, there you can, so depending, I'm not sure on what your setup is, but it is not compulsory by default. You can make it compulsory if you need to. So there is a toggle in STAAH. When ticked, it can become compulsory, but by default it isn't. But if you are using a payment gateway, it will be a compulsory field because that's probably a more of a payment gateway requirement. So hopefully that answers your question, Kevin. Do we have any other questions? We probably have time for another question. So if anyone has any, please feel free to put that through. I do have a question out here. How feasible is SwiftBook for guest booking from their phones? The Swift booking engine is pretty feasible. As I said in one of my slides, it is mobile optimized. So certainly your customers will never have an issue when they're booking through their phone. So their mobile view will be optimized to their requirements or their phone requirements. Tony, there's a question in terms of rate parity. Has anyone using WMR? I haven't really come across any rate parity issues, Tony. I mean, we've been using it or we've been setting it up across multiple properties because generally what happens is the bots from the various OTAs, they come and check your booking engine, but they don't actually look at the WMR feature. So if I'm not sure if that answers your question, but that's basically what it is. All right, so that's pretty much all from today's session. We would recommend you to join our blog page, or you can actually check out our blog page. We do have a lot of ebooks on there which are free to download. So please go take a look. It's blog.staah.com. Do have a look at that one. We do have a support help center. So if you're already using STAAH, you'll see a help center icon within your STAAH extranet. So please feel free to go in and take a look at our help center for help articles. And I hope today's session has been informative to all of you. On behalf of our STAAH team, I would like to thank you all for joining us in today's session, and feel free to reach out to us if there are any further questions. Thank you and have a great day.